Hey, Crush, I have an announcement to make. You want to know what it is? Eric Fickenbinder's on the... Sorry, Eric. My deepest apologies. Eric Fickenbinder is on the screen, which means only one thing. It means that in just a few moments, that beautiful animated text will grace us on the screen from the American Broadcast Channel. I think that's what it stands for. And that is The Bachelor! Don't judge, I need to put those paper towels away. Where are we? I definitely thought that said Taliban and not Talon. I'm really glad they're in Estonia. Wow. Alright, we begin by these two having a tea date. And also, can we just talk about how they look the same except one of them looks 20 years older than the other and I can't figure out which one. Greer is sick.
She's just in the room, asymptomatic. Well, if you can let her know that I'm thinking about.
So wait, does Greer have COVID?
As healthy as she can.
I hope she can sell. Remember that whole thing? Last time she had COVID, it was the end of a sales quarter. Also, considering Greer was really sad that she couldn't have tea with Zach during the London episode, the fact that they are having tea with each other and Greer is stuck in her hotel room sick is just adding to the plot line of Greer being upset about not having tea with Zach. Charity! Instagram really needs to fix this whole thing where it flips over and I'm right in your face. Charity gets the one-on-one date card, the very first one of the episode here in Estonia. And the card says, let's make up for lost time. Are they going to a clock store? So Kat pulled Zach away before he could even go inside to pick up Charity for their one-on-one date. And the girls are upset because he has lip gloss on his lips because I guess he kissed Kat in the hallway. And let's just take a moment here. Wait for it. He doesn't know anything about the area that he's in. So it's not like London where he's like, haha, pip pip cheerio. We're in London. He's just like, Estonia. So they went on a carriage ride and they ended up at this thing called Nyskandaman. What are they doing?
Carrying competition in Estonia.
This is right. Oh, God.
Is this?
Yeah.
It is a wife-carrying competition. This is kind of like that thing at the Iowa State Fair where the wives yell at it's the husband calling, yelling competition. But it's carrying
Can you hear me? You get yourself in here right now. Come on. You know you're going to be late again, and you
Have some marzipan.
They are eating marzipan.
Such kind of special treat.
There we go.
I mean, it just kind of looks like they're sharing an air hockey puck together, but romantic, sure. So we have the tough situation here where we have less than 10 ladies left in this competition, and when the group dates are announced and there's only, 5 or 6 of them that are chosen, you have a lot of situations like this where, she actually was picked for the group date, but was the last name on the card, and she feels like that's a personal thing. But really, you're it's possible it's in alphabetical order, in no particular order, randomized. I doubt that Zach's let me do my rankings for this group date card. Whoa! So this whole thing about Kat pulling Zach aside before he went on that one-on-one with Charity, I thought it was just going to kind of get brushed aside, but clearly that is going to be the definition of this episode. They are getting intense already. All right, so the group date looks like we are reenacting that weird scene from The Proposal where Betty White's character is dancing around a campfire. But the Betty White impersonator looks like Cyndi Lauper. I'm scared.
But she's a healing witch.
Ah, so this woman is a witch, but she's like Glinda the Good Witch. Wow, this is the whole thing. So now they're headed for their, like, group date, dinner date thing, and I'm just wondering,
Making me really nervous.
like, when Zach was sick, we all Zoomed him. Like, we all video called him and stuff, right? So, like, you know, like, what about Greer? Why haven't we called Greer to check up on her? Like, maybe just a text? Maybe Zach just wants to shoot her a snap? I don't know. So, just solely based on, like, the way that she handled him having COVID or the flu or whatever the heck he had last week, and just their general chemistry, I'm putting Katie in my top 3.
I missed you too.
Like, she's gonna be in his top 3, totally. Like, hometowns, for sure. So, like, Zach's getting the opportunity to, like, pull in all of the women to, like, talk to them almost, like, one at a time on this group date, which is great. However, like,
What is it?
I don't know if anybody else is in agreement here or is with me on this, but who's Jess? Right? Like, right? Like, has Jess had 30 seconds of airtime this whole season, or have I just not been paying attention? Like, who is this person?
Organic and natural, that's not forced, because it's like, I don't know what you need, because it's hard. Like,
Okay, so, you know how I just said a second ago, who is this person? Clearly she's having the same frustration, because she's, like, having the conversation that, like, hey, the clock is ticking, and I have not gotten to spend much time at all with you. So, alright, well, now we have that understanding. I feel like we've only seen 30 seconds of her, and I guess she also agrees. She's really upset that she hasn't gotten a one-on-one. Zach's kind of like, well, it's no big deal. I don't really understand, like...
Honest, and I'll always be honest with you. I feel like there's that disconnect, I guess. I don't feel any more sure about this, and I feel nervous, and I don't think I can feel fully nervous, so I don't know how you feel, but I'm not feeling that confident. As hard as it is.
I saw that coming.
Today.
Yeah, everybody else saw it coming, right? Like, she kind of pressed on the whole, like, I need to spend some more one-on-one time, and I think he was like, crud.
I'm not gonna beg for you, I'm not doing that.
And, well, there we go. That was rough. Not gonna lie. That was rough. I mean, you know, props to her. You know, she kind of said, like, I'm not gonna fight for you. I'm not gonna beg to spend time with you. I think Zach was kind of trying to press that, like, he wanted to spend some more time with her. But I think she was kind of given the very, like, big ultimatum of, like, I need a one-on-one. I wasn't getting a one-on-one. Zach was like, I don't think one-on-ones are that big of a deal. She was like, one-on-ones are a big deal. I think it was just a disagreement. Zach is making some good, like, necessary, safe moves while respecting the women. Like, I think compared to a lot of past Bachelors, he's kind of having these moments where he's like, hey, like, if there's this disconnect, then I think it's time to kind of, like, move forward. I don't think it's getting any easier for him, but I also don't think he's being manipulative at all, which is a good thing. So Zach informs the rest of the ladies that Jess is being sent home, and he also informs them that he's not going to give out a group date rose at all, which is kind of a bummer to them, obviously. They're less than thrilled. Alaska Daily. Ooh, we got the nomination. The Senior Bachelor! Good times. Hey, windmill. Neat. A horse. Trees in a dramatic, sad Zachary walking through the forest. So we've got a cold day in Estonia, and they are at the sauna. We've got a one-on-one date between Zach and Ariel, who I've always seen as kind of the dark horse in this competition. Like, someone who just kind of appears every now and again, is mostly in, like, deleted scene outtakes on social media, and, like, isn't very featured, but always, like, hits it off well with Zach. So I'm excited to see how this all comes together. So it turns out they are in a sauna at a nudist colony. Is this Impractical Jokers or The Bachelor? I am loving this healthy dialogue that Zach and Ariel are having. Zach talked twice now in both of his one-on-ones about his issue with losing his identity in relationships, which I feel like that's just like a thing that should be talked about more often. And Ariel talked about how she sometimes uses comedy as a veil for her emotions. They're just like getting real vulnerable and a really good spot. And I'm digging it. Again, like I said, dark horse. So we're just minutes away from, you know, a rose ceremony, and we're still dealing with a situation where they're all going against Kat for pulling Zach aside, and it's just a whole lot of drama. Like, it's 9:53. Are we getting a rose ceremony tonight? And we got our rose ceremony. I'm curious to know who goes home, honestly, because there's been a lot of that drama during this episode. Especially with the whole cat situation, so it'll be interesting to see how this all pans out. Gabby's got a rose. Who else? Katie's got a rose. Oklahoma Brooklyn gets a rose, which was actually kind of surprising. I feel like she didn't really spend any time with Zach during this episode, but I do think that there is a connection there, so it makes sense. And of course, we're narrowing it down pretty heavily at this point in the season, so we've got one final rose here, and it is gonna go to dramatic music. Da 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 da. There it is. Yeah, I did not expect Kat to go home, to be honest. Like, at this point, look, Kat can be a villain to the rest of the ladies, but there's a strong connection between the two of them. So, like, sorry, not sorry to the rest of them, I guess? I don't know. Like, so Allie is headed out. Kat gets that final rose. And there it is. A pretty dramatic episode. A lot of tension in the room, for sure, from start to finish. Literally from the get-go. So, I mean, again, I think it's going to probably be down to, like, Kat, Katie, Ariel, and Gabby. Also, does Greer just move on to next week? Or do we hear anything about Greer? So Greer is back. There's all sorts of drama, not only next week, but the rest of the several next few weeks of this season. And they're kind of inferring that the final rose ceremony could be not a great situation. So stay tuned for the next few weeks of The Bachelor. And Ryan watches The Bachelor on a bike. Have a great night. Catch you next Monday.